Andhra Pradesh does, Telangana would want to beat them by at least 2 days. So that's the other thing that's nicely happening there. And then Rajasthan, Gujarat, so Karnataka, hopefully Kerala, and so all these states are doing retail policy, which should help retail flourish and give it very required recognition for retail as an industry. From a technology standpoint, some things I brought up here. I'm again sure that we will be discussing this as we go by. One is hyperlocal. I don't think anybody can avoid looking at this, because end of the day, customers want items. They want the trust of the brand that they are accustomed to. They want the item immediately, but they also want the price. And they want the convenience. So the beauty with consumers is they want everything. The problem with business is they don't know how to give everything. And I think some of these businesses are helping us bridge that gap. CRM, definitely CRM is changed from what it used to be 10 years before to today. I'm sure there are people here who will talk to us again in depth, but the ability to understand an individual consumer and the ability for an individual consumer to interact with a brand has dramatically changed. And that means that the entire offering is now towards an individual consumer at an individual point of time. Payment systems are dramatically changing in this country. Suddenly it's okay for us to pay for a taxi with a digital money. We'll suddenly start paying to various of our restaurants with digital money. We'll soon be paying lots more to the retailers with digital money. And you'll find that most of the banks have already launched their own version of digital money. So it's getting to be a lot of fun. But hopefully, they should change the cash economy of this country to some extent. Some of you have to tell me where it will go. Social commerce is now being touched upon every day. There are new companies talking about how they can use social media, convert it into commerce. Again, I'd expect some answers going forward. Supply chain visibility has become better than ever. I think it's now that one can really think there's a clear visibility from farm to fork. The technology exists. It's about how well we can adopt it. And last part is about aggregators. Aggregators somehow are getting valued more than the individual players in the market. Facebook is aggregating so many likes, but they are valued more. Ola is aggregating taxis, they are getting valued more. But not just that, they are giving the much needed sense of convenience to all of us as consumers. So this again is changing the landscape. I hope we'll get some details about this as we go ahead. So can bricks outdo the clicks? That's the question. It's quite funny, because till about 1.5 years before, people were asking, can clicks ever do anything to the fact that there are bricks available? But today there are people asking these questions. Just 1.5% of the market is e-commerce, but the question is being posed. So I put up few questions here. I will not take too much time, but the fact is that e-commerce is here to stay, and we have to do a few things to make things happen. Young customers, and I think this is something to think about, younger the customer, the more they don't like to talk to any of us. Is that a fact or no? I'm told that if you've got a teenage daughter or a son, they will not want to talk to people at all. They would only like to click and do things on their mobile phone. They don't even want to call up an airline company to check up what time is the flight going to take off. They'll say, if the website is available, I'll do it. Otherwise, forget, you go. I think the job is always relegated back. It's upward delegation to the parents. Seamless consumer experiences. Hopefully, we'll discuss something there. Lots of data that's available to us. Consumer matrices are getting formed. We'll need to know what's happening there. Do we really want to adopt so much of technology? Big question. Again, something that hopefully some of the gentlemen here would answer for us. Fact is, there's so much technology available that it's all become a plug and play. Technology was never so cheap, believe me. And so it's easier to think about a concept, get it done through some of these young guys who are coming out of the various institutes in the country. And then the last part is, under all these circumstances, do retailers maintain what they are known for? So all of us are known for something. I mean, there is an est in everybody. So you are the biggest, you are the smartest, you are the fastest, you are the whatever. Retail also has to go through the same concept. Is the retailer the most fashionable? Is it the most trendiest therefore? Are they the largest? Are they the most, is it the fastest? I think those are questions that retailers have to answer. But if they don't tick the necessary ests, I think retailers are going to land into trouble. I'll not take too much of the other ones. I'll retain this at this. We've got our next panel happening. So even the question and answer, I'm sure, will happen at the end of the day. With this in mind, I hope we're all back into this room thinking about retail. My job was to bring all of us onto retail and to think retail. And I hope it's going to be a great and fruitful session for us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Rajagopalan, for this insightful address. Now, I would like to call upon stage Professor Sandro Castaldo. Professor Sandro Castaldo is the Professor of Retail and Marketing in Bocconi University and MISB Bocconi. He would be speaking on multi-channel integration strategies and first result of multi-country research on the same topic. So can we please have on stage Professor Sandro Castaldo. A big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank you. Sorry. Yeah. I want to thank you, all of you, and I thank you, Economic Times, for the opportunity to share with you some of our knowledge in terms of retail and multi-channel. This on the behalf of all the MISB Bocconi organization. I want just to introduce something that Kumar introduced in the last part of the presentation. Technology is changing the behavior, in particular mobile. Mobile technology is changing definitively the shopping behavior of people. We did a research at international level in 16 countries trying to understand the relationship between the trust in the store, the multi-channel approach of the shoppers, and on the other side, the time spent by the shopper online. And we did this research trying to understand how to create multi-channel loyal customers in 16 countries. In particular, we investigated with 30,000 interviews at shoppers, these countries, mature markets and growth market. Recently also India, in 8 product categories. Just to give you some very quick insight of these interviews and this research that we did, you can see from this slide that you have a lot of people in India using at least one technology for shopping. This means that people, they get information, they buy online, they share with social networks their shopping habits, and you can see that 71% of people, they use one technology. Just to give you an idea, in the world is 26%. But when we consider technologies, we consider website, mobile, social networks, e-tailing, TV, social videos, electronic games. You can see that in India, most of people, they like to concentrate on one technology. In the world, people, they use more than one technology during the shopping behavior. At the end of the day, we elaborated this data to understand if there is any kind of relation between the trust and the loyalty in the store and the multi-channel attitude. And as you can see, is there this relationship, and also there is a big relationship considering the behavior of the people. So people with spending a lot of time online and having the habit to shop online, they are obviously more open to be multi-channel shopper. On the other side, they like to have a relationship with very well-known brands, trusted brands. And how it's possible to create this kind of trust? Thanks to the past experience in the shop, in offline shopping. And satisfaction and value for money, in particular satisfaction, are the 2 elements that are the key drivers of trust of people and loyalty. For this reason, what is the output of this research is possible to build, to create trust offline, thanks to years of good relationship with customers, and then to bring this trust online, creating a multi-channel approach. Obviously, as you can imagine, this kind of relationship is stronger in collectivistic culture. India is a collectivistic culture. It's less strong in individualistic cultures. For this reason, I think that this is a big challenge, a big opportunity for offline retailers. What they have to do, the offline retailers? They have to find all the opportunities that the technology make possible to improve the shopping experience. I think that more than investing in bringing the shop online, they should invest in bringing the technologies in the store, trying to create a seamless experience, a real omni-channel experience. Here, just some cases. No? You can see virtual catwalk, smart tracking, magic mirror, hybrid shops, social network in the store. I want to tell you just very quickly, because the time is very short, 3 cases. The first case is Burberry. Burberry had an incredible problem. Online had an incredible e-commerce website with an incredible experience for the Burberry customers, but in the Burberry shop, the experience was very traditional, very old. For this reason, they decided to transform totally the Burberry shop. And the person creating this transformation of Burberry was the person in charge of the e-commerce and the online channel. They started with many contents, creating obviously contents, and then thanks to these contents, they changed the first flagship store in London. You can see on YouTube the video, it's great. Inside the store, they used to have a lot of full screen. They used to have a lot of interactive technologies, changing totally the experience of the shopper. And they created a real seamless experience, having exactly the same experience inside the store and online. This thanks to the technology used inside the point of sale, where it's possible to give a lot of information about the history of the product, the interaction with the product, the material of the product, and so on. These are just some examples. The aim of the new store was to create a game of contrast, creating big events in the store and creating a store as a real experiential store, having the opportunity to interact with the product, but also to interact with the brands with many, many events. Another nice story is Luxottica. Luxottica is an Italian company founded in 1961 producing frames. No? And they decided to innovate in terms of product, but also in terms of store. They have many brands that probably you know. The most famous is Ray-Ban, Oakley, Persil. But they have many branding licenses, such as Prada, Chanel, Armani, and so on. But the most interesting thing that you have to know is that at this moment, Luxottica is the biggest retailer in the world in the optician market, with 7,000 stores. Why? Because retail is key in this business. They have incredible figures. They have 8 billion of turnover with 30% of EBITDA. Incredible, with an incredible performance at stock exchange. These are the products that are very well known. Ray-Ban products in many versions, but they worked a lot in retail, in the store, to create the brand know-how and the brand reputation. In particular, they created new formats together with their customer, the independent customer, but also with their stores. And obviously, thanks to the touch points of retail, they created an incredible online community. They started in the 2008 with very simple technologies, also in this case, because the shortage of time, you can see all the video online. But the virtual mirror has been an incredible innovation, no? Trying virtually the eyeglasses inside the shop, interacting with this technology. So it's possible now to have this kind of interaction, proving and trying many, many models. Then they decided to launch an e-commerce website, Remix. Remix is a e-commerce shop selling Ray-Ban eyeglasses with the same logic of Nike, no? A personalized product. The person in charge of the Nike store in the United States was Gaetano Sodo, an Italian guy. Now Gaetano Sodo is person in charge of this website in Italy. E-commerce in a few years, just 2 years, from 0 to 80 millions. Not too much, because it's only 1% of the 8 billion, but very, very important in terms of signaling. And for the first time, they invented the system of back or opposite of showrooming. Showrooming is, as you know, I go in the store, I get all the information, and then I buy through Amazon. This is showrooming. They decided with this website to do a sort of opposite of showrooming, backward showrooming, they call this. What is reverse showrooming? Come here, define your personalized Ray-Ban, and then please go to visit the store to try, and obviously on the store you have also professional helping you in optimizing your choice. So the concept of reverse showrooming, in my view, it's very interesting for understanding the concept of omnichannel. Obviously, they started with many projects trying to increase the in-store experience, thanks also with RFID, where it's possible inside the store to detect and to understand which kind of eyeglasses are the most preferred for the single customer. Last but not least, Patrizia Pepe. Patrizia Pepe is a fashion brand, Italian fashion brand, with a big presence also in the East, in the Far East. And also Patrizia Pepe did a big investment in creating brand awareness through retail and through retail innovation thanks to technology. They started with a simple store video surveillance. They transformed the store video surveillance in video analytics, trying to understand which part of the shop are the most relevant, which part of the collection are most preferred, thanks to these analytics of the point of sales. And creating a big advantage thanks the store. The technology used is not invasive in this case. The shopper must look in a very autonomous way the product. And in this case, we can see that the innovation of the business model is thanks to the revolution of the retail model. This is just to conclude. Internet is a big booster for retailers, but we have to get the challenge and to see and to perceive online channel not